Welcome to everybody, and thank you for making it out bright and early this morning. Did everyone get a good night's sleep? Anyone out too late last night? Giggles? Okay. Well, my name is Pam Hart, and I am Director of the Animal Law Program at the Animal Legal Defense Fund, and it's great to see you all. This is such an exciting time to get all of you together in one room. We're going to start out with a brief presentation about student opportunities and resources, and then we're going to open it up to a discussion and Q&A. First, I'd like to introduce our panelists here this morning. We have Tom Linney here, for those of you who haven't met him. He is our pro bono coordinator at the Animal Legal Defense Fund, and he works with our litigation program, criminal justice program, as well as our legislative affairs program to help assign ALDF projects and cases. He also works on marketing our pro bono program to law firms as well as attorneys. He provides support to people who are interested in teaching animal law, and he also is the bridge between the law students and the young professionals. So he's someone you definitely want to get to know if you haven't met him yet. Tom is a graduate of University of Texas, where he started the SALDF chapter, as well as successfully petitioning the law school to add an animal law course to the curriculum. Next to Tom is Nicole Pallotta. Hopefully all of you have met her, and I'm sure you are in contact with her quite often. She is our student programs coordinator. In this capacity, she works with law students who are interested in advancing ALDF's mission, which most of you know is to protect the lives and advance the interests of animals through the legal system. She works with over 190 of our student Animal Legal Defense Fund chapters, and she helps them get animal law courses, as well as overseeing the clerkship programs, the SALDF programs, as well as our scholarship programs. Nicole joined ALDF in 2005. She earned her MA and PhD in sociology at the University of Georgia, where she taught the school's first undergraduate Animals in Society course. So welcome, Nicole. And last but not least, we have Kelly Levenda. Many of you know her. She is our very first Animal Law Program Fellow. She's a 2013 graduate of Lewis and Clark Law School. During law school, she completed a research project on federal and state laws for the Minnesota Voters Animal Protection, as well as participated as a source checker, as well as associate editor for the Animal Law Review. She served as the chapter's co-director while she was in law school. Kelly completed her bachelor's degree at the University of Illinois, where she studied animal science. So welcome. We will start out with a brief presentation, as I mentioned, on student resources and opportunities, and then we'll open it up for a Q&A. Oh, thank you for the reminder. So we're going to be passing around a sign-up sheet. This is a great way for us to capture your contact information. Please be sure to sign up for our student discussion list. What happens at these annual events is we have a great dialogue going, and then you don't know how to get in touch with each other. So we'd like to capture that today and then keep this going after our breakfast. Along with the sign-in sheet, we have a SALDF project idea binder. You can take a look at that, but we also have that on our website, and that has a lot of really great ideas for fundraisers and different events that your SALDF chapter can get involved with. Now I'm really done.
Thanks, Pam. And hi, everyone. Thanks again for coming. It's great to see so many people here so early. As Pam said, I'm Nicole Pallotta, and I know many of you through email, and I've met some of you in person. I look forward to meeting more of you during the weekend. So we're just going to go over really quickly what resources that we can offer you guys, and then we're going to open up the floor for discussion. And you don't have to worry about taking notes, because we have all this information that we're going to talk about on our SALDF bookmarks out on the table that talks about our resources, and it's also all available online. So ALDF's mission, as many of you know, is to protect the lives and advance the interests of animals through the legal system. And we just want to take a few minutes to show you a video that our communications department put together that highlights the need for animal protection laws.
Please come here, come right on over. When we collide, we'll see what gets left over. A little joy, a little sorrow, and a little pride, so we won't have to borrow. Wherever you lead, I'll follow. Turn me inside out and upside down. Try to see things my way. Turn a new page, tear the old one out, and I'll try to see things your way. And I'm gonna love you anyway. I'll try to see things your way.
So, LDF strives to achieve our mission and address some of the issues that were highlighted in the video through our 4 main programs: our criminal justice, legislative affairs, litigation, and animal law programs. We're from the Animal Law program, all of us here, and we foster the field of animal law among legal professionals and in law schools. We partner with law firms and to develop pro bono opportunities for attorneys, and we work with students and faculties to develop animal law courses. We also help students form SALDF chapters. So is everyone here part of a SALDF chapter? Yeah? Great, it's great to see.
Not part of a SALDF chapter yet.
And also a law student?
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Be by the time you leave.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, if you're not part of a SALDF chapter and you want to form one at your school, come talk to us after the breakfast, because we can definitely help you do that. So as most of you know, SALDFs are law student groups that are affiliated with ALDF and share a mission. And the field of animal law, as you know, has evolved very rapidly over the last 10 to 15 years, and this growth is especially visible in the growth of our SALDF program. If you guys were at the talk last night, you heard that when the animal law program started in 2000, there were 12 SALDF chapters, and today there are 196, which is pretty impressive growth. And likewise, there were 9 animal law courses being taught in 2000, and today there are over 145. So again, it's just really evolved a lot in the last decade or so. And if your school doesn't have an animal law course, also come talk to us, because we have resources to help you get a course added at your school. And this is often one of the first projects that new chapters take on. So we have a list of other project ideas on our website, and we also brought the handout, the binder of sample SALDF projects, so you can check that out. And one thing I wanted to mention quickly is ALDF's National Justice for Animals Week that we do every year. It's coming up in February 2014, and we want to get as many chapters involved this year as possible. Some of you participated in the National Anti-Cruelty Day that we did in the spring in collaborative effort among SALDF chapters around the country, and that was really successful, so we're folding it into our National Justice for Animals Week, and we have materials that we can send you to help you put on events on campus, so definitely contact me to find out how to get involved with that and sign up to get those materials. So after the presentation, we're going to open up the floor, hear about some of the projects that your chapters have completed. But first, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly, and she's going to tell you quickly about some of the resources and opportunities that we have for students.
So the resources we can offer you guys are grants, tabling materials, and we have many email lists that you can sign up for, and we also have our law student membership. So ALDF awards grants to SALDF chapters to complete animal law projects, such as speaker events or fundraisers or film screenings. And we also offer grants to travel to animal law conferences and competitions. If you are interested in applying for a grant, the guidelines and the application are on our website. How many of you received a travel grant to attend this conference? We also have free tabling materials for you guys. We have brochures, bookmarks, newsletters, all that good stuff. We also have a plethora of email lists that you guys can add. We have our law student e-newsletter, which is a newsletter tailored for law students. So this has animal law project ideas, events that are happening, and then if we have any clerkship opportunities or scholarship opportunities at that time, it'll be in there too. We also have our National SALDF discussion list, and this is a private forum in Google Groups, so you guys can all communicate to each other. So if you haven't joined that, please do that. You can also sign up for ALDF's action alerts, which gives you updates on their cases and campaigns. And on the sign-in sheet, there's little boxes if you want to sign up for any of these, or you can come talk to me after and we can add you. We also offer a complimentary law student membership for SALDF chapters. If you sign up for this, you get one issue of Animal Law Review produced by Lewis and Clark law students. And then you get ALDF's newsletter, which is the Animals Advocate. We also offer a complimentary one-year attorney membership when you graduate for SALDF members. So what kind of cool opportunities do we have for you guys? We have clerkships and scholarships. We offer clerkships in our litigation, legislative affairs, and criminal justice programs. These are full-time and paid in the summer, and then we usually have some opportunities during the school year also. These are really good opportunities to get hands-on animal law experience. You can check our clerkship and internship website to get the most up-to-date info. So is anyone here clerks for ALDF? ALDF also awards a limited number of the Advancement of Animal Law scholarships each year. These are awarded to SALDF chapter members who are committed to animal law, ALDF's mission, and anticipate that they will participate in the field after graduation. Application guidelines can be found on our website also. Has anyone here received a scholarship? Woo! For all you other guys, you can apply for spring 2014. I'm now going to turn it over to Tom, who's going to talk a little bit more about how you can stay involved in the field of animal law after you graduate.
All right. Good morning. I love this light. It's like I feel like I should be on a home video in my pajamas with footsies and chasing my brother. I'm going to try and run through this real quick because tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, if you're a law student and you're here at 8 o'clock, you like torture, so we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock for our Careers in Animal Law panel. So I'm just going to run through my slides real quick, but feel free to track me down and we can talk more later and join our conversation tomorrow. So hopefully, just show of hands, anyone thinking about going down a law firm route when they graduate? Okay, good. Working for the government? Maybe any prosecutors? Okay, good. I think we have one already. There's a lot of ways to get involved with ALDF's work after you graduate, and joining our pro bono program is one of the best ways to do it. We outsource a lot of our work, and we're able to take on a lot of cases that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise without the support of firms and attorneys everywhere. And the beautiful thing for us now is that a lot of the former SALDF chapter members are moved on and they're working for different firms, and they're pushing the animal law pro bono work for the firm, and now the firm is taking on work for us when they never would have done it before. So I highly encourage you all to do that. And some of the things that you might do if you join our attorney network is obviously a lot of research and writing. I should take out citation checking. That's not very enjoyable. I think that was the reason I quit my environmental law journal my third year, so we'll just pretend that's not there. Filing amicus briefs, litigating cases, and then on less frequent occasions, assisting prosecutors with animal cruelty cases. So, sort of going back to the different ways that you can do that, working at firms, there's a lot of the firms are giving your hours, pro bono hours now for doing animal law work. There's some solo practitioners of animal law around the country. It's becoming more common, but it's definitely still in its developmental stages, I think. It's great. I mean, it'd be great if you can go and get some experience working for a government agency, like the FDA, or go work for USDA or OSHA or whoever it is, and then you can, for a few years, and then you can turn around and apply all that knowledge that you learned for them and use to work to help animals. And, you know, also just volunteering with local animal protection groups like, was it the Minnesota Voters for Animal Protection and the Texas Humane Legislation Network, and there's different groups locally that you can help out with. There's also, you know, there's 25 different state bar animal law sections now and 14 regional committees, so there's definitely ways for you to network once you're out, and I encourage you to get involved with them. And, you know, write articles. You can still, you know, try and publish, do letters to the editor. There's a lot of things that you can do to get involved, and mentoring students is really another great way to help the future of animal law, and hopefully some of you, anyone have an interest in teaching animal law? Yeah, all right, good, okay. So yeah, that wraps it up, but we'll, did you want to come up, or?
Right now, we're going to open it up for our Q&A. And as I mentioned when I started talking this morning, we can give you all of these ideas and all these talking points and suggestions, but I think the best thing that you can do is learn from each other. So we have microphones right here. We'd like to open up the floor, and hopefully you're willing to share with us what's worked for your chapter is one thing we'd like to talk about. What challenges you faced is the second one. And then how ALDF can support you. You know, it was interesting, we did this survey and 100% of the respondents of the law students said that they wanted 100% respondents said they wanted more connection with ALDF. 25% of the students only knew about our incredible resources. Again, their scholarships, project grants, and clerkship opportunities. So if anyone's willing to kick this off, a particular chapter talking about what's been your greatest accomplishment, what do you think has worked the best for your chapter? Challenge, or a suggestion on how ALDF can support you all better? Okay, you don't need to be shy. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm Stormy Step. I'm from the South Texas College of Law, and I've been president of, this is my second year as our SALDF president, and our law school, we've won Student Organization of the Year at our law school for the past 6 years. Just won last year, so it's 6 in a row. We mostly do this through, we've pretty much just outwork every other group. We fundraise, so we raise, you know, like around 15 grand every year, and we do that through like around Halloween time, like right now it's actually going on, we do like some cute thing where people can submit pictures of their pets with costumes on, and we open this up to a lot of like animal rescues and shelters to do that, and they can put, you know, these animals are all adoptable, things like that. On these pictures, then people vote online. We have a lot, and then we raise a lot of money through that. We also do a silent auction where all of the money goes to charities and things like that. Silent auctions I think are really good because it's, you know, you don't have to, because you know, I'm in Texas, we get a lot of people who roll their eyes when, you know, we're for an animal thing, you know, they just see us as a bunch of, you know, flaming liberals who are doing this. But silent auctions are good though because it's you know, it's very, you know, apolitical, and you're not taking a stand on the thing, but at the same time you're raising money for charities for animals. So those have been good. And then I don't know, you wanted to know what's been our biggest problems. Personally for me, it's just been the, you know, dealing with okay, you're an animal group, you're an animal law group, what's that? But I think the ALDF's been really good. Like when they say, you know, they give us a lot to say to rebut those things. So I think the ALDF's been really good at that. Personally for me, I don't have any complaints. I know other chapters sort of struggle to stay around, but I'd be willing to, if anyone wanted to talk about like the chapter and how we do so well, I'd be willing to, you know, just find me at the conference. I can go into depth with you about anything you want to know. So there's all of that.
Storm,
Yeah.
are you on the discussion list, our national?
Yeah, I'm on all this stuff already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that might be another great way that we can exchange these ideas, and I think it would be wonderful if you could make those
Sure.
bullet points and share it on that list. So again, I encourage everybody to sign up for that discussion list.
Absolutely. Yep. All right.
Thank you.
Hi. That's good. This is a perfect height for me. I'm Fiona. I'm in the Columbia Law SALDF, and I was president last year. This year I'm event coordinator. in name, but it's really kind of a collaborative thing. So, but I guess I kind of wanted to start with a problem that we have. And I think probably everyone has the same problem. It's just apathy in the student body. You know, sort of when we're having these events and things, people just say, why should we care? So that's sometimes a little discouraging, I guess. But to combat that, I think some of the biggest successes we've had are the speaking events that kind of draw non-vegans, non-vegetarians, non-animal people in. So recently we had an event on food labeling, which I thought was really interesting. I know that it's not really driving the message as far as we should be going, but I thought kind of making meat eaters aware of where their food comes from and what like humanely raised really means, I think kind of opens people's eyes and makes them more passionate about the cause. So after that event, we had a lot of kind of flurry of interest. So I think kind of doing a lot more outreach is really good, especially in our student body who, I don't know about other schools, but some people tend to be a little apathetic. I guess one thing that SALDF could help us with, and it's probably our fault, but more connection with the local SALDF chapters that we have, because I know in New York City we have about a million of them. And we've had a couple of events and things like that, but sort of building more of a community would be really helpful, and to that end, maybe using that community to collaborate on pro bono projects in our local area.
That's a great suggestion. Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, I know, the New York chapters had like a collaborative happy hour. Sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. I know the New York chapters did some like collaborative networking events recently. David, did you go, I think you were involved in those. I don't know if your chapter was, but.
Hi Fiona, I'm David. I'm the vice chair at Brooklyn Law School, and I just went to an event at NYU where they did a screening for Blackfish, and was talking to some of them about doing a happy hour this year. They had it too early in the year last year, so I didn't even make it. I'm a 2L, but we should definitely do that.
Yeah, and we can definitely like connect all of you with each other when you need each other's contact info and stuff. Yeah.
And we really appreciate that input because we've identified now that we have so many SALDF chapters that we need to get you all connected because that's empowering. So I'd also suggest that you apply for project grants. We will definitely help support you with these happy hours or networking opportunities, and that's something that we would really love to fund.
And to talk about your apathy point, the one thing that worked really well for us at Lewis and Clark was partnering with other groups to get a larger audience. It kind of sounds like you're doing that already, but we've had success doing that, trying to get more kids in the door.
And also I hear that free food is a very big draw. And again, we can help you with that with our project grants. So.
Hi everyone, I'm Angelique, and this is Andrea, and we're with Pace Law School SALDF. And just kind of going off of what Fiona and David had said, if we could bring together like the Northeast SALDFs and maybe do some kind of a mini conference, because we have great things going over on the West Coast, and there's a lot of, I've talked to animal law attorneys, and they, again, there's apathy even outside of the law school, so if we could have some kind of a, mini conference or something kind of going on over there that SALDF could help us with, I think that would be really great to kind of pull some more things over onto the East Coast.
And hosting a CLE is definitely a great way to do that. And potentially if you can partner with the local state bar group section or committee and then have it at the law school, and you can invite attorneys, and then you can email us, and I can email all of our attorney members in the area and invite them to attend. But yeah, that's a great idea.
Hi there, my name is Catherine Ferris. I'm from Mercer Law School in Macon, Georgia. The positive things, we just started last semester. We'd been defunct for a number of years, so I'm the president and founder of the chapter, and they were small. We've had Lady Van Cabbage come out and speak to us when she was in Atlanta, which was phenomenal, and had a great turnout that I didn't think we were going to get. So she spoke about breed-specific legislation and police officers shooting dogs, and a lot of people were receptive to it, so I was excited. Also, kind of on a sad note, but a local animal shelter was broken into the other week, and a number of dogs were let out and fought, we believe. So a number of the animals were hurt, but there's been great outpouring in the community, the law school from other groups that wanted to partner with us to raise money for them. So I'm looking at that as an opportunity to educate people and really get our message out there. apathy is a huge issue in the Southeast. I really don't know, and as a 3L, I'm worried about going out the door and taking other 3Ls with me and not having the chapter continue. So I really want to be involved afterwards, but now I want to know what I can do in the Southeast because it is so hard to find people that care in the community, let alone in the law school. So that's, I mean, maybe it could be my fault not utilizing all these resources since we just started, but the Southeast, I feel like predominantly has a huge issue with apathy.
Do you have 1 and 2Ls involved with your chapter, or
There
is
is
it mostly 3Ls?
1, 2L, and there's a couple people that signed up. I mean, it's difficult. Even the most passive message, you know, let's get on board with companion animals, because I feel like we can all agree on that. Let's not talk about the farming, just because I want to get people in the door. You know, I want to sell it to at least get them in there to talk about things. But just people don't have, I think they have the interest, but they automatically assume that we're the extreme left side of everything, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can put people off, especially in the Southeast.
So that's a common theme that we hear. You know, you're in law school for about 3 years, and the concern about leaving your legacy and how do you keep it going. So has anything worked for anyone out here in the audience that you can suggest? You know, one thing that comes to mind is finding a faculty advisor who is part of your chapter and can support the mission.
We do have one professor. He is our faculty advisor, and he does teach the animal law seminar, but it's one of those things that obviously the students have to keep it going.
Right.
And it is just hard, especially getting people to not only get involved, but assume the responsibility of running an organization, because I've even found my own exec board, I'm having to do 99% of the work, which is not a problem. I love it, but I can't keep an organization running when I'm not there anymore.
Right.
So.
Right. Any suggestions from anyone out there that's worked for them? I know Kelly, Lewis and Clark has such a robust SALDF chapter. You know, any suggestions you can provide?
I mean, just trying to get someone elected as president before you leave, so you can know someone's there. I'm sure you're trying to do that, though. Yeah.
I know.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to start over?
Sure.
Okay. What did I say? Oh, basically that I found a 2L who is interested in it, and I'm force training her. And so I copy her on all of my emails. I explain everything that I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I've kept a binder of stuff to make it really easy. This is who I order from at this restaurant, and they give us a discount because we keep going back. These are the events that we've had. People really loved this person. This person wasn't a very good speaker. All of that, because you can use the same speakers every few years, I think. We haven't done it yet, but I'm sure we will. So expanding the board for us was huge. We started with, when I took over, there were 4 people that came to our meetings, and it was really awkward because there were only 4 of us. But this semester we've had, I think our smaller end was on 20, it was 20 people, and on the higher end we had 50 people. And it's because I think we've expanded the board, given people small projects to do, but they feel invested in our chapter and they want their friends to come. So it's attracted people who wouldn't otherwise come. And then they get on our email list. So they see, we send out an email to tell people about things once we schedule it, but then that week we send a reminder, that day we send a reminder, free lunch and this speaker will be here, and people come. Also, Facebook has been awesome for us. Start a Facebook page and keep it going and make it interesting, and don't make it all just sad stuff. Put positive stuff on there too so people want to look at it. I think that's what worked for us.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Zeal. We're from, us 3, we're from Florida Coastal School of Law in Jacksonville, very close to Macon, Georgia. We have exactly the same problem with we're afraid to scare people away. In fact, we're sitting outside of the room before our first meeting this year, and one of the new 1Ls said to me, "Oh, you guys aren't going to make us stop eating meat, are you?" And, you know, of course, in my mind, I'm like, yes. You know, it's like, we're like, do we show the video? I mean, like, so I guess my strategy so far this year has been not to mention that the food is vegan until maybe next semester. You know, put a couple things on the Facebook page, but don't push the vegan. It's like a really... Sorry. I just feel it's a really sensitive area. I think it is worse in the South. My suggestion, I'm also the president of the Environmental Law Society at the school, and I'm kind of making both organizations partner a little bit. I think it's, for some reason, more acceptable, and people think maybe that looks great on their resume. My suggestion is to try to do that. There's a lot of people doing environmental law with oil and gas, but I think there's a lot of opportunity there with the Endangered Species Act and things like that to bring other people in. Even if you're doing business law, it's important to your career as well. So there it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to mention quickly, too, that we have a Farm to Animals in the Law brochure, which is a great resource. So you can order those from us, and you can have them. If you're having vegan food at your events, you can have the brochures that, kind of puts the diet into the legal context in terms of what legal protections exist for farmed animals, which are basically none. So I think that's a good thing to pair with the food when you're doing those events. If people are like, why is this vegan?
Yeah.
So
Well, it's so hard. Even I feel like when we put it out there, even for example, we do Hot Dog Wednesday at our school. Every Wednesday, our SBA, every organization takes a turn doing it. And we've actually lost members that are very strict vegan because we participate in that. Then there are the other side of the board that doesn't want to come to our meetings because we only serve vegan food. So it's like
it's
such
hard
a
to please
challenge.
everyone.
I'm sure it sounds like the rest of the South has the same. It's just crazy. So.
I'm Carrie, and I'm one of this year's co-presidents of Columbia's SALDF. And one of the things we do in order to keep our organization going is we start our presidents as 2Ls. We have 2L presidents, and we always have co-presidents. So even if one of your presidents vanishes, you have another president. And it's like incredibly helpful because I have Fiona, the 3L president from last year, here. So anytime I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, who do we contact? She's right there to say like, you need to email this person. We talked to this person last year. I think that's incredibly helpful that we have one more year of having last year's president around. Another thing we do is we partner with a lot of organizations, including ones that would be somewhat surprising, like the ACLU. They're doing a lot about ag-gag. So we get their members who probably would not just like randomly show up to a vegan event, but when it's like, oh, freedom of speech event. Oh yeah, I want to be there. I want to see this. Freedom of expression, I'm down. And so like kind of trying to find angles that connect us with other organizations on campus that like might not instantly appear to be connected is great. Like we have a gastronomy society, and we're hoping next semester to do an event about like vegan food in New York City and vegan places nearby where we are. So I think that's incredibly huge in terms of getting other people to show up that would not normally. And then another big thing that we do is at the start, our very first event of the entire semester is a picnic in the park, just a completely open, anybody who wants to show up. We don't talk about anything other than to introduce ourselves and say, hey, what are your guys' like ideas? What kind of events would you like to see? And we got pretty good attendance. I want to say we got like 20 or 30 people this year, and that's our norm. Because people, when you tell them just like picnic in the park, awesome vegan Indian food, people are like, yeah, picnic in the park, it's beautiful weather, it's sunny August, we'll come join you. And so I think these things all really, really help us. But like the number one thing I'd love to plug is to just say like have your 2Ls be presidents, because then your 3L is still there to ask questions, because it would have been a lot more overwhelming for me personally if I didn't have Fiona and Anthony around and all of the other lovely 3Ls to just constantly ask questions, including really dumb ones sometimes.
Thanks, that's
That's a great idea. Thank you.
And I like that suggestion to collaborate with other chapters. And that project binder that we're passing around, which is also on our website, has some really good ideas of what other chapters have done with these current trending topics that I think is another great point to draw on other, non-animal people, so to speak. So that's a great suggestion, and I'd encourage everyone to look at that binder.
My name is Elisa. I'm here with a couple of my co-students at the University of Akron. And I would agree with the last speaker that recruiting a 1L and teaching them everything that you know, so that you have a 2L president is a really, that's what really has helped our chapter, as well as other organizations that I've been involved in. Because when you're the 3L and you're leaving, you take all the knowledge with you. But also, at least at our school, by the time you're a 3L, you're working and you're kind of burnt out, and you don't really have the energy to do what it takes to be a successful chapter of a student organization. So having a 1L, recruiting a 1L when they're super enthusiastic to be the new president when they are a 2L really helps a lot. At Akron, we finally had an animal law class added to our curriculum last year, and I would say that the challenge in making that happen was just our apathy is more on the administration side. We have we have lots of students that attend our events, and we work with other student organizations to kind of collaborate on events to get people more interested, which has been really helpful. But the administration really did not want to offer this class, and I basically had to do a survey of the entire student body to prove that there were hundreds of people interested in this class, and they were offering an environmental law class, which of many types of environmental law, but one of them where there were only 4 people enrolled in this class, and there was no legitimate reason why they were not offering animal law when we had hundreds of people interested and only 4 people interested in this other class, and yet that class is continually offered. But I basically had to be a pest and keep going to their office and showing them the information that, look, there's all these people that want to take this class. I have 2 professors that are willing to teach it. Let's make this happen. And it was so frustrating. And now it's not being offered this year. It will hopefully be offered next year because another professor is going to step up and teach the class. But other than just constantly being at their door and being a big pain, I don't know how else to work with, a very apathetic administration that kind of just doesn't see this as a legitimate area of law, and I don't know how. Anybody have any suggestions on that?
Go up to the mic, please.
So I'm Liz. I am president of a brand new SALDF chapter in Canada at the Faculty of Law in Vancouver. And we recently got an animal law class added to the curriculum, and how we did that was by having students sign. And, with this list of 50 students, the faculty couldn't deny that there was very real interest. And we also found someone who was willing to teach the course, and presenting that information to the faculty made it very difficult for them to say no. And so indeed, they did say yes. So this year will be the first year for that. So being a brand new chapter has been challenging, especially in Canada, where we're not so fortunate to have all these other SALDF chapters around, but I do want to thank you for your support. You've been phenomenal, and the ideas that you've given us have also been really good. Probably out of frustration with the apathy that I'm sure a lot of you experience as well, we started networking with other local associations and animal groups on campus, and I've found that to be really effective, even just in terms of getting that enthusiasm back there, because not at every law school are you going to have 10 people who are really pumped to do stuff for animals, but across campus, there's just such a wider population for that. We've also started networking with other animal groups on a citywide, even national basis. Mercy for Animals has come into Canada within the last year and has only expanded into the West Coast in the last month. So I would really like to start working with them more, just to kind of leverage those efforts. What I could see ALDF helping us with is maybe keeping some kind of speaker list of people who are willing to come speak. Maybe a list of what their speaker fees are, if any, what their topics are, and other experience people have had with other speakers, whether those speakers were good speakers, whether they drew a large audience, those kinds of things. And just to throw this one more idea out there, because I think it's a great one, a lot of bigger clubs around our school throw parties as fundraisers, and they're really big parties. So Paul at our organization, he suggested that we do coat check for one of them. And so the last group that did that, they raised $600, which is nothing to sneeze at. So if you were able to do that 2 or 3 times a year, that could be really fantastic.
Thank you. And I'm going to just plug the discussion list again. I think that would be a great idea to bring up on the discussion list to sort of talk about who you've had come speak and, you know, if they drew a crowd and things like that. And then I also want to mention we have a sample student petition on our website that you can use if you're trying to get an animal law course added to the curriculum at your school, because as we've heard, that's often a really big, important factor in terms of getting the administration to want to offer the course, is showing that there's strong student support for the class. So we have that sample petition, and we also have other resources that we can send you to help with that. So.
And I'd like to follow up too on the class, because it sounds like, you know, it's frustrating, but you're doing everything right. We always suggest that you find an adjunct or a couple of choices to teach the class, do the petition that Nicole mentioned, but we also provide seed grants for first-time course offering. So if that seems to be one of the obstacles to having a course added to the curriculum, please contact us, get in touch with Nicole, and we can start to talk to your administration about that as well.
And in terms of the class, if you're having trouble finding someone to teach, we ended up finding a bit of a collaborative solution. So 3 practitioners who are not professors will be teaching our animal law course, and it's 3 women who couldn't take on the job alone, but together they've been able to make a really great syllabus and do something that they're excited about. So one of them is the director of cruelty investigations at the SPCA. Another one is actually someone who works for a women's advocate group who's just really passionate about animals and has experience in that area. And another is Rebecca Bretta, an animal law enthusiast and practitioner in Vancouver.
And to follow up too on the speaker suggestion, we do have that list. I'd encourage you all to contact Nicole. Sometimes our staff attorneys can come speak at your chapter. We also have over 1,500 attorney members. If there's one in your area that you're interested in having come speak at your school, we can certainly connect you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm a founder of a UC Irvine SALDF chapter. Okay, I'm with those 3 ladies in the second row from the back. We're here looking for other Southern California SALDF chapters to network with. I started the chapter in my 1L year. For a few months, it was literally just me. I second a lot of the suggestions that people have made. Petitioning for an animal law course, we were successfully able to do that. Co-sponsoring events with other groups, Environmental Law Society. We did a screening of McLibel with the International Law Society and had a faculty member who is an international law scholar come and speak at the event, and that was really great. And it was sort of tangentially related to animal law issues, but definitely got people thinking about it. We also, with my partner Anna, we went to the animal law competitions and did well, and so that sort of helped generate press about the group at our school, and that was really helpful as well. I think just making sure you have a presence at Admitted Students Weekend, if your school does that, or at student org fairs, has been really helpful in finding people to continue the group. This year we were lucky enough to get a group of 4 or 5 really excited 1Ls. Our entire board is 1Ls right now, so I'm really excited about that. Sorry. ALDF has been extremely helpful through the grants. We wouldn't be here and we wouldn't have gotten to the competition without grants from ALDF because our law school is so small and there just isn't the funding for that. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Natalie Lynch, and I was one of the founding members of the STCL Animal Law Society. And the entire time I was there, it was the same 4 girls sitting in a room talking to ourselves. And now South Texas has one of the best CLE programs. We have a really good professor. I still call her professor, even though I'm a grown-up and supposed to call her by her first name. She's still Professor Ortiz to me. But it's worth it. So I hear all you guys saying you're really frustrated and it's really hard, and it it is all of those things, but it's worth it. I would have never imagined that me and the other 3 girls sitting in a room would have turned into what South Texas does now. It's huge. And today I am the chair of the state bar section. So one of my other messages to all of you guys is, you know, if you have to blame it on furthering your career or keep faking it till you make it, just stay the course. It's worth it. I think a lot of you guys have also talked about integrating your ideas with other types of practitioners, and I would say that that is a healthy behavior regardless of your animal pursuits. I can think of 3 instances off the top of my head, and one of them was my own husband, where just, you know, staying after people, talking about animal law stuff, sort of normalizing it over drinks, using humor, all this stuff. And my husband's a land developer. But he actually wins some environmental awards now. He found a new way to relocate prairie dogs in Colorado, and that's great, because now they don't die. They just go to other happier places. But his boss was he chastised me every chance he get. I mean, it was joking and it was fun. It was a little hurtful to me, but I don't think he knew that. And today he's vegan. It just, you know, stay the course. Another one of the attorneys that my husband's current employer uses, you know, he's a big real estate property lawyer. And what is animal law if not property law? And he jokes with me and he jokes with me and he jokes with me. But you know what? He's getting really frustrated with his boring career. And he keeps asking me questions about, well, isn't this the same with animals? And I bet you it's another 12 months before he takes his first animal law case, just because he already knows how to do it and it's more interesting than what he's doing today. And the other topic I would say is work with your state bar associations. I think the student chapters, your state chapters, and ALDF make a really good tripod. I know that I know about things that the student chapters that I didn't know about, at least when I was a student. And I don't know if it's a communication issue or a volume of communication, or just a creative way to use different resources. But, you know, work with your state bar chapter. Those people are all practicing attorneys. And again, it kind of, you know, if you can't get a job, you can't feed your pets, and you probably don't have time to be going after other pursuits. So you've got to be networking with people in your community anyway. So do it smart in a way that can further your ideas about helping animals. That's all I had to say.
Thank you. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what other people were saying about companion animals issues being a great way to get people in the door. We sort of decided to devote the first semester to domestic animal issues, and we're planning a huge spay, neuter, vaccination, other free resources event for pit bulls I think in March, but we're planning to try to spay and neuter at least 100 pit bulls in a low-income area, and that's generated a lot of interest as far as people outside of our organization in the community, and just other local rescues, et cetera, have really given us a lot of support. So that's a pretty great thing that people can get excited about.
Well, thank you. This has been a great morning, and thank you for sharing your ideas, and most importantly, thank you for supporting SALDF and ALDF and helping us fulfill our mission. We've had a chance to meet a lot of you last night and some more this morning, but I definitely encourage you to come up and introduce yourselves and let us know how we can help you. So again, thank you, and we look forward to chatting with you soon.